large cauldron-like pot in the middle of the table. Cozy read the recipe out loud as she held up each of the bottles.
3 rose petals, a sprinkle of morning mist, dragon scale, some mint, an ounce of amethyst. Well, one of those is going to be harder to obtain than the others. Morning mist. It's the middle of the afternoon.
Cozy opened one of the jars on the table and got out a few dragon scales, sprinkling them on the boiling cauldron. The scales evaporated in a lavender mist once introduced, adding next a leaf bush of mint.
Rogar sure has a weird collection of contents in these potion bottles. Like, seriously, they're just sitting there collecting dust on the shelves. Good thing he has me around to put them to good use. With this, he and the others will have to see what good help I am.
Whatever you're trying to preach in there, could you not?
One of Cozy's roommates, Queen Chrysalis, entered the center room she was in, with a hoof against her temple.
Some of us are trying to get their beauty nap.
Well, trying is a good way to put that activity.
Chrysalis wanted to hiss, but found she just didn't want to put up with it today.
And just what are you doing so actively this late in the afternoon?
She looked down to see all the bottles and jars that scattered the top of the table. A few contaminants tipped over to spill on the surface.
Are you trying to set the lair on fire again? Your cooking limits stop at cupcakes, and I beg you that it stays like that.
That was going to be a good stew if you and Tyrek hadn't tried to take over the recipe with your own gross ingredients.
I'll have you know that black beetles are a delicacy in the changeling diet.
Yeah, almost as much as love is to ponies.
Don't blame me for your lack of taste.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm not cooking anything this time. I'm just trying to make a disorientated potion.
Of what?
A disorientated potion.
Child, that better not be what I think it is.
Cozy lifted the book off the table to show the changeling queen.
I found this book in one of those chests Rogar has just laying around. I flipped through it and discovered it was a potion book. Spells and potions of every kind.
Where did you even get all these containers?
They were just sitting in those shelves.
Cozy said, pointing a hoof to the holes in the wall.
Huh. Somehow I never noticed them.
Well, now they get to be put to use for when we go and finally take Twilight and her friends down.
And how do you plan to do that with all these liquids?
Cozy pointed a hoof at the page in the book.
With this potion recipe. It's called a Mare Patio.
Gesundheit.
What? No! That's the name of the potion!
Chrysalis squinted her eyes as she leaned in to read the page.
A magical potion that makes anybody that drinks it become so focused and obsessed with somebody else, they lose sight of everything else around them. It makes them unable to carry out any other task from being so concentrated on that something else. So Twilight won't be able to use the elements of harmony or friendship or whatever laser feeling she pulls out from her rear when we try to take over.
A love potion.
What? No! It's a Mare Patio!
It's a mare potio, you fool. Not a mare. It means love potion.
Cozy Glow flipped the book back to herself and reread it.
Huh. Guess I should have thought of that from the little heart scribble at the bottom.
And here I thought you were making something just as worse. What makes you think you can even whip up a spell like this out of nowhere?
Applejack had a guest teacher once for one of her classes to come and show us about a different kind of magic. One you could make with leaves and liquids and slimes. Now that zebra mare knew how to create fireworks inside a classroom. Her constant rhyming got annoying halfway through the class, though.
Chrysalis rolled her eyes.
One class, and you're already creating this chaotic concoction right in the middle of our only refuge. Great. Our demise might come sooner than we first believed.
Hey, I got this! Even if Grogar's spell does work for us, there's no harm in a backup plan.
Speaking of that, Tyrek should be done overlooking that book we stole. I swear if that Minotaur
Centaur.
even plans to hide information from us from that book, I will.
Drain him of his love?
I was going to say personally drag his rear back to the depths of Tartarus, but that works much more efficient.
That's actually pretty soft. Even for you.
Chrysalis's eyes went wide at the realization.
Fine. I'll throw you in too.
What?
A loud, content sigh rang across the lair as their third roommate walked into the center room, stretching his fit, red muscles above his head.
Now that was a workout. Is there anything left in the kitchen? I'm starved.
Tirek opened his eyes to stare at the scene before him. Chrysalis beside a floating cozy, the latter hovering above a cauldron with a bottle in her hooves.
Ugh. On second thought, never mind.
I'm not cooking!
Cozy yelled, exasperated.
Perfect. I get to live another day.
Tirek crossed his arms as he walked over to them and peered into the boiling pot.
Not that I care too much, but what are you even doing?
About to finish my disorientating potion.
Your what?
A love potion.
Chrysalis corrected.
A what?
I got everything except for the amethyst ounces.
Cozy ignored him and continued with a smile.
But it's just one ingredient. It shouldn't make a big difference, right?
I thought you were the potion expert, Cozy. You would know better not to overdo it. Especially with something like a love potion.
What do you mean?
Changelings feed off love. Even fake love. We've had our encounters with prey that were under the effects of forced infatuation. It's like a drug. It makes changelings sick within hours of feeding.
Huh.
Cozy pondered.
So all you have to do is not feed off of Twilight when I hit her with this. Good.
That is not what I meant. I won't be robbed of the opportunity to drain every last ounce of life source from that self-important, annoying pest of a pony. But that's not the point. Any love enchantment has to be handled delicately, as it is a very complex emotion. One mistake can turn it from a blissful taste into a sour mess. Understand?
I think you should listen to her, Cozy.
Tirek intervened.
Magic, even in potions, isn't to be taken lightly. We don't want to cause a mess before we even get the chance to master the bell.
Speaking of which, have you finished reading that book?
It's written in an old dead language. I'm deciphering it as fast as I can.
Well, decipher it faster. I'm sick of waiting for that old goat's master plan.
Well, I don't have any amethyst bits.
Cozy looked around the table.
What happened to patience being your greatest virtue, Your Majesty?
You just better not be planning on withholding any secrets from it from us when you're done.
You know what? That thought never crossed my mind. Until now.
Cozy Glow lowered onto the table to reach a colorful jar as Chrysalis got in T-Rex's face with a scowl.
Don't you dare!
I'll use this.
Huh?
T-Rex and Chrysalis said in unison.
I don't have any amethyst bits. Rock County cupcake sprinkles are the next big thing, right?
Cozy, no!
Within seconds, Cozy Glow dunked the jar of rock candy sprinkles, jar and all, into the cauldron. The explosive magenta reaction blew Cozy Glow off the air and into the muggy swamp water of the lair. Left behind were her two roommates, who unfortunately got caught in the widespreading mist fog of the mixture. Cozy took a step back, not knowing if she should be disgusted or confused. Flying over to Tirek, she poked at his seemingly frozen stare.
Hey! You're not gonna leave me to pick up all this by myself, are you?
And what is a ravishing mare like yourself doing in a dumpy swamp like this?
It wouldn't be a dump if you two could blend a hoop here before Grogar comes back. What has gotten into you two?
No place is a dump if your strong, dashing self is here with it.
Only if it's being accompanied by your radiant beauty.
Chrysalis giggled, too uncharacteristic for Cozy's liking, as she and Tirek embraced each other in a nuzzle, his beard brushing against her cheek as her wings buzzed excitingly behind her. Cozy Glow stood petrified at the scene happening before her, shooting glares back and forth from the two of them before finally finding her words.
What the hell is going on?
Her outburst got their attention, as they finally tore their stares from one another and towards the filly.
Oh, look at her, dear. She's adorable.
Indeed she is, my dear. Our family wouldn't be as complete without our child to symbolize our love.
Family?
Cozy's yelling got interrupted as she was lifted up by Chrysalis's magic and placed between Chrysalis and Tirek.
Hey!
Just look at her. Doesn't she just look like a part of us?
Chrysalis said in a dreamy tone.
Her blue mane being a lighter shade of your beautiful teal hair.
Tirek added, the same obnoxious tone in his voice.
And her pink coat is a variant of your bold, glowing skin.
Those are complete coincidences. What are you two?
Cozy squirmed, but her voice cut off once she looked down at the cauldron. The pink mist floated off of it as it stirred inside.
The potion. You two were caught in the middle of it. You must have gotten affected by it. You're both under the love potion's effects. But then, why aren't I?
If this is a love spell, I don't ever want to wake up.
Chrysalis giggled. Cozy Glow held back a gag.
Even if it wasn't a spell, it's impossible that I wouldn't have fallen for you and your gorgeous eyes.
Tirek continued.
I highly doubt that.
Cozy muttered, now beginning to be smothered by the two ancient beings that couldn't keep their eyes off of each other.
Get off me!
Pulling herself off of them, she floated back to the table, flipping through the pages of her book vigorously.
There's got to be a way to undo this. Maybe a nullifying potion or something to reverse it? Maybe if I have the opposite of the ingredients from the recipe, I can...
She turned around to find she was alone in the center room.
Where did they go?
Cozy did herself her own favor by getting up early and making breakfast before her two love-struck roommates did, and ruined it for her again. Immediately after, she went back to reading the potion book, more eager than ever to look for an undo spell somewhere. A potion, a spell, anything to relieve her of this nightmare.
This looks like an interesting book, she said. Oh, look! Spells in the form of easy potions, she said. Oh, look! A disorientating spell that will surely help us take down that purple prissy pony much easier with no repercussions. Cozy, why couldn't you have just tried that new recipe of spiked cupcakes and called it a day? Ugh!
Cozy let out an exasperated huff and slammed her hooves down on the book. As tempting as the new sleeping coma and enhanced wing potion spell she found looked, she needed to take care of her current situation at Hoof first.
This is getting bad. If I'm not able to find something here, I might be forced to go into Counterlot again to find something else there. Well, with Tirek and Chrysalis in the state they're in, there's absolutely no way we'll be able to successfully sneak in again. If anything, I think with the higher risk of getting caught in the heat of the moment, those two might think of... Ugh, no!
She shook her head to get the repulsive thought out of her mind.
On the bright side, at least Grogar isn't here to see the mess both of them in the lair has become.
To see the what?
Cozy Glow jumped at the booming voice that echoed throughout the caves. Wheeling towards the entrance, her pupils dilated at seeing the blue goat known as Grogar in front of her face, with a less than friendly scowl.
How much of that did you hear?
Enough to know that you three have been doing something behind my back.
Cozy tried to calm her beating heart and put up her innocent facade.
Behind your back? Psh, no, of course not. We've just been doing a few team exercises that may have gotten a little out of hoof.
And just what kind of exercise did this include? Because the kitchen is stained everywhere of I don't know how many substances. There's a broken cello in the front, and dried up wheat are scattered absolutely everywhere.
Cozy looked down at the lair's floor.
I completely missed those.
Grogar's snort brought her attention back.
Well, I can assure you there's a perfectly good explanation for all of them.
Before she could give her perfect explanation, a pair of giggling voices echoed from the hallway and walked together into the center room, claw in hoof, staring at one another. Their lively muttering was inaudible as they nonchalantly passed by them and headed for the exit.
Just where are you two going?
Grogar's voice boomed.
Grogar, you're finally back.
Chrysalis chirped.
My beloved here and I are going out for a relaxing walk in the woods.
T-Rex shared to them.
And after that, back home for a romantic dinner.
We hope you don't mind.
I do mind.
Grogar stomped his hoof on the ground.
You two think you have permission to just walk around in plain sight, risking being seen by some pony?
His tone was harsh and threatening, but alas, the pair did not pay him any attention. The second their eyes met again, all further focus was shifted on one another once more. One could practically see the hearts floating above their heads as they walked out.
Hey, I haven't dismissed you two.
When it became clear that they wouldn't budge, Grogar turned back to glare at the filly. Cozy Glow gave a nervous chuckle as she tried to maintain eye contact.
What happened?
Well, you see, I was doing some exploring earlier the other day, and
Before Cozy could finish, Grogar had already looked behind her and saw his potion book laying open on the table. He snorted as he slammed a hoof against the surface, making the book jump.
You used my enchantment guide?
Enchantment guide? Oh, that old thing. I don't even know what that is. It was already there.
A sharp look from the goat jolted Cozy as she finally confessed.
All right, fine. I tried creating a potion from one of the recipes written in there, and somehow that happened.
She extended a hoof to the exit.
Which recipe did you follow?
Cozy frantically flew to the table and pointed at a page.
This one. A disorientating potion.
You fool! That's about a potion. It's
A wolf potion, I know! I may or may not have used an incorrect ingredient or two, and now I'm stuck with that mess.
Both hooves splayed frustratedly at the exit passage.
Seriously, the mere thought of Chrysalis and Tyr getting together is gross enough as it is. When they have to act so lovey and dovey and weak and gross like that, it's annoying. Especially when they try and drag me into their sick family fantasies.
Have you tried looking for a reversal chemical?
I have been trying to do that for the past 2 days. But this book gives me no other recipes for it.
You child, to reverse a potion's effect, there's no other secondary recipe to undo it.
What?
Every potion spell can be undone if you only modify the original recipe.
You mean I just have to do it again?
No, you have to add another extra ingredient that nullifies the original outcomes. Did all three of you drink that potion?
Actually, it kinda exploded when I added the last ingredient. Jack and Chrysalis got caught up in the explosion of gas while I was thrown in the swamp water. When I got out, I wasn't affected by the gas at all. The muddy swamp water must have prevented me from getting all lovey-dovey because it was so dirty and tainted. Unlike the clean and pure recipe from the love potion. That's it!
There, it only took you 2 entire days to figure it out.
Hey! I think I would have gotten it quicker had it not been for those two going around being all mushy and obnoxious all the time.
Carving that nullifying spell!
Grogar commanded with another stomp. With a jolt, Cozy Glow scurried away.
You say the price of my love is not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you heard in the sea, but you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 you say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I am gone. And no, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject. My loyal, royal subject. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise. And I'll love you till my dying days. When